Yo, what it is? It's your boy Jewelz Kortez. Right now, I'm here live at Precision Sounds, Shot Underground Jacks. I will be performing live April 9th at the night show, so make sure y'all be there.
So how you came up with the name?
For me, I just wanted to always be different. I wanted to stand out. I wanted to, separate myself from the rest. Jewels, that part of me just represents, my value. Sometimes, diamonds, they form in the rough, and I just feel like my life has consisted of, forming into that diamond. Kortez in Spanish is a accomplished person. That's actually what it means. For me, I've had a lot of accomplishments in my life. At the same time, I don't feel like I had enough. But for me to be, that person that, has that ambition to strive for more, it just makes me an accomplished person. So you put two and two together, I mean, it's self-explanatory.
Alright, so when you started rapping, how old you when you first started rapping?
So I can say I first started rapping at age of 7, man. I was trying to do the little sport thing. With some years, my mom, couldn't really afford for me to play ball. I really ain't started playing ball, until, my coaches stepped in and, kind of gave me, some leeway. Cause they really wanted me to play, but it was those moments where I didn't really have no, extracurricular activities to do, and I used to listen to the radio, and then start mimicking what was going on the radio, and before you know it, I started sharing it, with my friends and stuff at school. This like elementary, so it's it's real cool to get a whole cafeteria jumping, what you saying. So and from there I was like, oh damn, I guess I am working with something. So I just took it and I ran with it. It was kind of like a talent I didn't know I had.
So when you started taking rap serious, though, when you really started dropping music videos, started dropping songs.
So I can honestly say I started taking it seriously when people started taking me seriously. So like I said before, it's about growing on you. You know what I'm saying? So when I started seeing how people react to the things I say and the things I do, more and more, it just started making me take it seriously. Then I started having different A&Rs and all these different people, reaching out to me and trying to talk to my mom, like, hey, your son got this, that, the third. And then I just felt like, oh wait, I think I'm working with something. I think I'm working with something that can actually, help my mom, help my family. I'm the oldest of 7, so at that time, as I started growing and getting older, I started having, those siblings that kind of gave me that extra drive,
So how often you drop a song or music video?
How often?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. So it's this thing called life. It takes place. So lately, I kind of been getting myself back on the scene for a while. My goal, I learned from my experience. I used to be that guy that never really dropped nothing. Always had the talent to do it. I just never really, pushed myself enough to, let it out of me. So, just that work-life balance, just trying to,
manage life and also music at the same time.
Basically, so yeah, and that's what created that barrier for me. Now, this year, I plan on dropping more music than I ever did before.
All right. So you've been rapping since you were 7, right?
Yes, sir.
So what age was you when you started taking it serious, or what age was when you first went to the studio?
So studio, I want to say this was around middle school. So at the time, that 7-year-old me in elementary, I really wasn't in those studios like that. I just was beating on the table in the cafeteria, and just rocking it out. When I started getting in middle school, it was this dude that he was a producer, and he had a studio. And at this time when I was in school, actually I was staying in some apartments, and when I was in those apartments, the dude had a little studio at his crib, whatever. And man, you should come on here, let work on something. And this is the time where you burn the CDs and you put your music on it. So I was excited to hear my voice on the CD for the first time. So during the middle school days, I started growing a little bit, and by the time I got in high school, that's when I really started working with some real deal engineers and getting that quality and that development. Man, I spent nights and months in the studio before, and I had this one point in my life where I didn't go to school for like 2 months, and I literally was like in the studio the entire time. Like it was a house, like real talk. But I don't regret it at all. I mean, I managed to finish, but at that time in my life, I got some real deal artist development at that time.
All right. So what's the income right now?
Yeah, so right now for me, I'm just pretty much making the way. I mean, I got a professional side, so like, I make sure I'm all about business, you know what I'm saying? So a few different business ventures that I'm involved in, and I just utilize that as, a stepping stone to, get me where I need to be, because, no deal yet on the table right now. But that's not really my main focus. My main focus is to just be successful at touching the world. You know what I'm saying? The money come and go, but who you are, that's what's gonna live with you forever. So that's really my main focus right now.
All right. So where you see yourself 5 years right now in the music industry?
5 years from now, 5 years from now, I can honestly say I would have touched quite a few people. When I say a few, I mean I ain't saying like a couple thousand. I plan on to touch, millions and millions around the world. I know you can't please everybody. You know what I'm saying? I know that you can't touch everybody. Everybody not gonna feel you. Everybody ain't gonna like what you say. Everybody ain't gonna like what you're doing. And that's cool. But my goal is to make sure I touch as many people as possible. Be an inspiration to them, and just like anybody else, like you can do anything you put your mind to. So, from Billboard charts to a Grammy nomination, if not actually winning a Grammy, the humble me says nomination. Like that right there alone, I would appreciate. But so within those 5 years, like I say, some type of Grammy nomination. If Lord bless me with a Grammy, like that's cool too. Like obviously I've always been that type of person. I always wanted to go Billboard. I always wanted to be on the charts.
Big, right?
Yeah, I always wanted to do Billboard, man. That's a lifelong dream. I think once like I get that first Billboard placement, I'm definitely framing it. Definitely. And it's just something about Billboard, because you got thousands of records out there. Like, okay, let's say this. Like, you got millions of people out there. So you got millions of records out there. And, like, out of those millions of records, for yours to chart on that top 100, like, that's phenomenal to me. So, a lot of accomplishments, Grace and magazine covers, the Source, stuff like that. I can't say freshman class. Like, there's something about that, man. Listen, it's certain types of portraits, certain type of things I knew I would have framing in a mansion one day. So, that's just why I see, and then rubbing it off on the next person, giving the next person an opportunity. So, I'm working hand in hand with some people close to me right now. Cash Lopez, Devin Coy, like, them two, they've been rocking with me since day one. And I just, I'm just focusing on, making sure, I give people, the opportunities that I'm presented, and live that legacy.
Anything else you want to say before we go? Anything about what you got coming up for this year?
Yeah, so this year, y'all will see more than ever. A lot more of me, a lot more videos, a lot more songs. My social media, Jewelz Kortez, that's JEWELZ KORTEZ, like no underscores, no spaces. I pretty much got platforms, like it's pretty much on all platforms. I keep everything uniform. I can say that it's gonna be a lot more content than people ever seen from me. A lot of procrastination, like that I've had, over the years. That's just that battle that I had to fight. So that's another thing that they ain't gotta worry about. And like I say, I mean, I really care like who rock with it. I mean, I don't care who don't rock with it. I'm only caring about the people that that care about what I got going. Like, I'm not really gonna like dive my energy into trying to make everyone like what I got going on. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I'm moving, man. And just gotta stay tuned, and I'm pretty much gonna make history from here.
All right.